Hey, lovers! Welcome to the Book Lovers Club, the podcast where we celebrate Black Sapphic love stories, one book at a time. I'm your host, Joy, a married lesbian, lifelong book lover, and relational communication scholar. Here, we don't just read the romance, we learn from it. I believe that love stories can do more than just entertain us. They can teach us how to love better, how to see ourselves more clearly, and how to create the love life of our dreams. Each week, I'll dive into sapphic stories written for us and by us, while weaving in personal insights and communication lessons you can take off the page. So grab your drink, get cozy, and let's turn the page together. Welcome to the club. Hey, book lovers! Welcome back to another episode of the Book Lovers Club. Y'all, it's been a very exciting week. This past Saturday, last episode, I finally announced what I have been working on, which is a virtual Black Sapphic Book Festival, the Book Lovhers Fest. And I was not expecting the type of response that I received. I don't have a lot of followers on social media. So, just the way that this media game is, like, if you don't have huge followings, like, I just really didn't know if people would want to support me when I kind of fly under the radar on social media. And some of that is by design. I don't consider myself an influencer. I'm just a book lover and I use social media as a way to track the books that I'm reading, to connect with other readers. I am really focused on building community. Community is so important to me. A little fun fact, okay, I am actually a PhD dropout. I don't know if I'm going to go back and finish. I'm not sure. But I was enrolled in a community psychology doctoral program that to me lets you all know just how important community is to me, that I was going to study this for my doctoral studies. However, COVID, trying to finish my doctorate while the pandemic was happening, hats off to anybody that did that. Little baby could not. I was struggling and I needed to take a break, and I just have not gone back to finish yet. It's something that I'm very passionate about forming communities and the importance of community. And I think that that's just a really big focus of what I'm doing and why the approach that I take. You know, I think my passion for community engagement, community development really does bleed through in this venture that I'm building. So, my focus really has been using social media to find other like minded individuals, people who also are in this hobby, and trying to make adult friendships. Also, using my talents to help amplify marginalized voices. So, my passion for DEI and things like that also bleeds through here. So, with that, I didn't know how many people would be open to coming to the event when I'm not someone that has like a huge following just yet. Like, I have listeners. According to the stats, I am in the top 50% of performing podcasts. Like, I am in the top 50%. So I am doing really well for my debut season of my podcast, okay? However, my focus really hasn't been on gaining a lot of followers on social media. That does require a different approach and a different focus. But all of that did influence my perception of the situation, and not knowing for sure if people would be responsive, if they would want to buy tickets and things like that. So I was actually very surprised by the response that I received when I announced that I was hosting this event. Okay. And for those of you who are newer to my podcast and may not have been listening for a while and don't know a lot about me, I work in academia. So I have been working in higher education for 15 plus years. And both of my degrees, my bachelor's and my master's degree, are in communication. I really saw this venture, my podcast, as a way to share my love of books with people, also scratch an itch for communication and media, and creating a platform for myself. Like, this venture has allowed me to kind of streamline and find some synergy between all these different aspects of myself. and my personality and my interests. I also have a background in relational communication, so I like to also fuse that into what I'm doing as well. So, in my profession, I do a lot of this all the time. Like, a lot of the things that you all are seeing me do now are things that I did when I was in school, that I do in my full-time job, working with students and hosting events on campus, and really using the talents and the skills that I have developed professionally, applying them to something that I'm building for myself and applying them for something that I am using as a way to give back to my community, you know? So I feel like my heart and my intentions are in the right place, and it's just very nice and validating that other people are able to see that and see my sincerity and want to partner with me and collaborate with me and support me. I know every episode I talk about how grateful I am, but I really am. So, since last week, our list of attending authors has expanded. I am definitely going to be launching a reading challenge because I want to read at least one book from every author that is participating in this festival before the big day. Okay. But now, Anne Shea is one of our attending authors. The Honest Truth, Joy Minor, Ava Freeman, Deja Elise, Shay B. Bryce, and TJ Williams. I'm just so grateful. I've also landed 2 new sponsors. So, y'all, at no point did I consider that there would be people out there who would want to sponsor this festival, sponsor this event, and donate their money to support the cause. But I was obviously not dreaming big enough. But a special thank you to CastCon and AM Elizabeth K for your generosity because that really does help make this event more accessible and allows me to make sure that the people who want to be in the room are in the room. Their generosity and donations make it possible for us to offer 15 free tickets to members of the community who want to attend but may not have the financial means to do so. So just thank you. Thank you so much for your generosity. And y'all, I've sold 30 tickets so far. I'm so excited. I just really have a good feeling about this. And my intention is for this to grow and become an in person thing. I'm just really, 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 really excited, y'all. Y'all have no idea just how great it feels to see your ideas come to fruition like this. It's just no greater feeling. It really feels magical. Okay. And I have a lot of ideas. I am a serial entrepreneur. Okay, I've tried a lot of ventures, and I feel like every experience that I had prior to this was leading me up to this moment to give me the unique skill set that I need to be able to do everything that I'm doing right now. Okay, every previous business venture, everything that I've done has been leading to this moment right now. And I really feel like I am walking in my purpose and finding so much joy in what I'm doing. Y'all, I'm really excited. Like I said, I was not expecting the outpouring of love and support that I received. But why would I expect anything less? Y'all are amazing. Look, book people are some of the most amazing people in the world, which is why I've really wanted to go and make some book friends. We are a different breed for real. I love book lovers, and I'm just so grateful to be in community with y'all, okay? Well, today, we're going to be talking about the books a little bit. And I have already finished the books that we're reading this month. I've already finished The Sweet Fall by Melody Lynch and What Happens at Sea by D.O. Robinson. This is not the episode where I will be doing the big deep dive and giving y'all all the spoilers and really unpacking the book. But now that I've finished the books that we're reading, I just have some thoughts. But before I get into that, something else I wanted to talk to y'all about is that I've been having conversations with authors and just talking about representation, like Black Sapphic representation in literature. And I saw this post by Brit in her books. Well, I should say formally. So it's Brit Unfiltered but formerly known as Brit and her books, okay? I love her. She's one of my favorite book creators. I think she's so funny. I think she's so funny. And I really love her content. Her and that whiteboard, I was even gobbling up her Legos content, okay? That girl is funny as hell to me, and I love watching her stuff. But she went on a rant about her issues with billionaire romances. And I would have to say that I agree. I agree. And she said that's like one of the tropes that she hates because of the issues that she has with how the trope is being written. And it made me think about how I don't hate billionaire romances. I don't. That's actually a trope that I would want to see more represented in like the Black Sapphic romance space. And it got my wheels turning. How many tropes would I like to see, or what type of books would I want to read more in the Black Sapphic space? It's so many different genres and things that the authors could dabble in, and that I'm really ready to read more books. Okay, so I made a list, y'all, because Brit and her books made Brit Unfiltered, formerly known as Brit and her books, went on a rant about how she hate billionaire romances, but that's actually one of the tropes that I would like to see more in the Black Sapphic romance space. Where are the lesbian billionaires? Where are they? I want to read the story of the billionaire, maybe where she falls in love with her secretary. I want more books like it. I feel like we need more. Look, that's why I really loved Carmen Lee's dark romance. It was given some billionaire romance vibes, but the love interests, they were both rich. Give me the fantasy, okay, where the lesbian billionaire falls in love with the broke love interest, okay, and transforms her life. I want it, okay? Give it to me. Give me the arranged marriage, okay? I just want all the billionaire romances, but make them Black and make them gay. Another trope that I want to see in the Black Sapphic space. So I just read D.O. Robinson's book, What Happens at Sea. Gobbled that book up, y'all. Gobbled it up. We're going to talk more about it next week. However, the thing that I really liked about the book was the mystery elements. I'm not going to give y'all too much, but I really want to read more books like that have this like whodunit mystery element. That's something I feel like we could use more of in the Black Sapphic space. And let's take a pause for a second. There's been a lot of conversation around the term sapphic. I have no problems using the term lesbian. I identify as a lesbian. I am a lesbian, okay? I am in a marriage with a woman, and I love me some women. Very much a lesbian. However, I use the term sapphic because it's more inclusive. I use it as an umbrella term. Not everybody that is in this space identifies as a lesbian. Some people are bisexual, some people are pansexual. So it's just different identities within this space. So I use sapphic because not every book that we read is actually a lesbian romance or a lesbian book. I think sapphic is more inclusive, so that's why I use that term. However, I want to see more. I want to read more in this space. Give me a detective, a police officer. Maybe she's falling in love with her partner. Maybe a woman is the witness to a crime, and now she's having to work with this detective, the lead detective on the case. And romantic feelings start to get involved. And then it's kind of controversial because, the detectives are not supposed to be dating the witnesses. Give me something like that, but make it Black and make it gay. You get what I'm saying? Where's the best friend sister romance? I love that trope, best friend sister or siblings, but I want some more books like that. And they're probably out there. I am human. I don't know about every single Black Sapphic book that exists. Okay? That's the whole reason why I started this venture, because as a reader, I was having a hard time finding book recs. So I don't know about every Black Sapphic book that's on the market, that's out there. I've actually learned about some authors that I didn't know of before through this whole venture. Like, this has exposed me to other people that are writing. With that, there could be books out here already, y'all. I'm not saying that they don't exist. I'm just saying I want more of them. I told y'all a couple episodes ago that I wanted more dark romance in the Black Sapphic space, okay? Specifically, I want some touch her and die books. I want an unhinged FMC. Give it to me, okay? I really want it. I know it's unhinged. I know it's crazy. And I know that if this were to happen in real life, I would not be a fan. But I'd be gobbling that shit up in books. Give me some dark romance. Give it to me. Ava in The Sweet Fall, she's unhinged like a motherfucker. Ava is unhinged. We gonna get to it. We gonna talk a little bit about the books, but Ava was unhinged. Another one, I want a cute young adult romance that's a lesbian cheerleader and jock. Give me the lesbian cheerleader, lesbian athlete, the jock cheerleader trope, but make it black and gay. Maybe they go to a HBCU. It don't even have to be super young adult like high school or something. Make them in college. Matter of fact, if we doing HBCU, it could be a drum major and someone in the band. I'm giving out free game. I'm dropping so many book ideas, it's unreal. Okay, where the authors at? I need y'all to be gobbling this shit up because I want to read it. But yeah, give me black lesbian, athlete, cheerleader, or someone in the marching band, like the drum line, but black and gay. Okay, it's so many different things you could do with that dynamic. Give me the athlete and the nerdy tutor, but black and gay. Okay, come on. Y'all see the vision? That's what I want. Where is it? If the book exists, I need y'all to slide in my DMs and point me in the direction. My wife and I low key are that trope. We weren't in college at the same time, but I was a high school cheerleader and she was a college basketball player. And I feel like, you can pick up on that dynamic with us. But I want that. I want that so bad. Also, in these fantasy books, I want more telepathic connections. All right? When y'all writing these fantasy books, I want it to be extra gay. We can hear each other's thoughts. I can speak to you through my mind. We are soulmates. It's fate. I want all of it. Give it to me in the fantasy books, okay? Today, I had a meeting with Joy Minor, one of the authors that's going to be participating in the book festival. And she told me she got a book that I am going to be reading called Charmed. That's about a black lesbian leprechaun. Come on now. Y'all know I'm about to be reading that book asaptual because what? That's the kind of shit I'm talking about. Lesbian zombies. She got hella books, y'all. Okay? Look, catalog runneth over. I'm about to be reading all of that because I want all of it. And then lastly, I want a black lesbian superhero. And I mean, I'm very flexible on what you define as a superhero. You can give me superheroes like Marvel. You could give me like a vampire slayer like Buffy. Picture this. Season 3, Buffy. Buffy and Faith's dynamic, but black and gay. Can y'all see it? Because I'm telling you, Buffy and Faith was given very much lesbian lover energy when that shit first aired. I want to be the damsel in distress, and I want to be saved by my black lesbian lover in the book. Okay, that's what I want. Look, I'm putting y'all on. The authors that are listening out there, if you write it, I'ma read it. If you write it, I'm going to read it. So y'all be talking about tropes that you don't like. I would take even those tropes in the black sapphic space. I just want all of it, okay? I don't care. I just want black lesbians in books. That's what I want. So with that, let's transition. Like I told y'all, I've already finished the book picks this month, and I'm about to start reading some books that are written by the authors that are participating in the festival. So I will be announcing a book challenge that y'all could participate in with me. So stay tuned. Okay. A lot of moving and shaking going on. So it's going to be some updates coming soon. But something that I was just reflecting on now that I finished our books this month is the power of a book cover. But also, y'all ever been catfished by a book? That's how I felt with The Sweet Fall. I'm not saying I didn't like the book. I just felt like it catfished me. The cover is beautiful. That is one beautiful book cover. Oh my God, it's gorgeous. And I told y'all I'm very guilty of buying books strictly because I love the book cover. okay? When they say don't judge a book by its cover, I guess I didn't get that memo. I be judging all the books by their cover and will definitely gobble a book up because I love the cover, but sometimes that's not the best approach because you can be catfished. Sometimes these book covers are misleading. You know, even the title, The Sweet Fall, it was nothing sweet about that book. Ava's a menace. Look, I'm not gonna give y'all no spoilers, okay? Because we're gonna talk about the book in depth next week. But Ava is a whole menace. Ain't shit sweet about her. I was like, the sweet fall, I don't know what I thought. I went into the book blind. I read the description to y'all off Goodreads, but for the most part, I really didn't know anything about the book. I didn't read any reviews or anything before I read it. And the book cover really, I don't know what I was expecting, but what I got isn't what I expected. And I felt a little catfished. And like I said, that's not good or bad. It's not good or bad. But sometimes that happens where you go into a book expecting one thing and getting another. And whether it's a pleasant surprise or a little disappointment, it does happen. And I know that that comes with the territory of me judging books by their cover. Okay, I know I do that. Sometimes now books don't even have the summary of the book on the cover. So you really are buying books off vibes, okay? Unless you're somebody who gonna go and do some research about the book before you purchase it. A lot of us are buying books strictly off the vibes. Like you really can't get no summary. They don't tell you nothing about nothing on these books. It just be quotes and things like that about what other people thought about the book. So with this one, I went in thinking one thing and got another. And I don't know. Like I said, I felt a little catfish, but we'll talk more in depth about it next week. Even with D.O. Robinson's book, her book cover is gorgeous as well, y'all. I mean, gorgeous. Gorgeous book cover. But however, her book has this like really strong mystery element that pops up in there. So you wouldn't be able to pick up that it has like this mystery whodunit feel to the book strictly by looking at the book cover. But I think the book cover really does sell. Like this is on a cruise boat. They are at sea and giving you the vibes. Okay. So, but you wouldn't know that the book had this like darker element based off the book cover. So that was a pleasant surprise. So, on one hand, you got the pleasant surprise that I got with D.O. Robinson's book, and then the not so pleasant surprise where I was expecting one thing and got another based off of the description and the cover for The Sweet Fall. So, with that, I don't know, has this ever happened to y'all? Like, where you were just kinda like felt a little misled? Like, this is not what I was expecting. So, and like I said, it's not always necessarily a bad or good thing. It just is. It just is. So, I don't know. I think that book covers need to become their own category. The way that the book community is starting to crack down on these AI covers, I think that a way that we can start to better incentivize authors to really invest in good illustrators is to recognize the artistic talent that goes into crafting a really beautiful book cover. I think that's separate from the book itself. And it's so many books out here with these gorgeous book covers. I think that they should be acknowledged. So, y'all know for the festival that I'm hosting, we are going to have an award ceremony. One of the categories is going to be best book cover because I really want to acknowledge the artistic talent that goes into making this cover art. And it's some authors out here, these indie authors, they're doing everything themselves. And they're the ones that are putting together these beautiful book covers and things like that. So, like I said, if we really want to encourage authors to say no to the AI, we should incentivize them and really give props when they do because like I said, I think that's its own thing and that should be recognized and appreciated. However, it is sometimes misleading when the contents of the book don't match the cover. But that's on me, okay? I'm not even mad about it. It's a beautiful cover and I love it. And that did influence some decision to read the book, even though not everybody might have liked it. Okay. But we'll talk more about that next week. But I was just curious, have y'all ever been catfished by a book? Because that's how I felt. And like I said, a good catfish, like I was pleasantly surprised by this other aspect of the book with D.O. Robinson's book, but then not so much. Wasn't very pleasant when I was like, ain't nothing sweet about this fall, baby with Melody Lynch's book. But You know. Anyway, thank you for tuning in to the Book Lovers Club. If you love today's episode, make sure you subscribe so you never miss a chapter. And if you're feeling generous, leave a review because you know those reviews help other lovers find us. So if you want to keep this conversation going, please join me on Instagram or hop on over to Fable to join the virtual book club. And until next time, remember, the stories we read can help us write the love lives of our dreams. See you next Sapphic Saturday.